When I got into Kuwait City, the war was already done. We were traveling through Kuwait, and I remember the most interesting thing. So I was driving down, we saw some people on the side of the road. And those people were looking at us. And one of the most interesting things is that there was this young kid, about 14 years old. You know, he looked me right in the eyes. And he said something to me to this day I'll never forget. He held up his finger and he looked me in the eyes. And he said, America is number one. He said, America is number one. I don't know about you, but that blew my mind. Because I was trying to think how many Americans here in the United States, even today, say that America's number one. So it intrigued me. So I went into this kid and I looked at him and I said, tell me what happened. He explained to me that when Saddam Hussein and the army came in, and what they did was they started to burn everything down. They started to steal everything. I remember finding vehicles with sofas and beds and TVs and radios. They were taking all this stuff. They were just taking everything from the people. And not only did he take that, he said something to me. He says, you know, when the bad guys came, they took my father and they killed him. He said, my mother, they took her and they raped her. He said, I saw them cut my sister's legs off, 12-year-old, and rape her too. He said, but you know, when you showed up, when the Americans showed up, when the Marines showed up, the bad guys left. And he said, that's why you're number one. And when he said that, it touched my heart. And I said, you know, he's talking about something. Something that we call freedom. And we know that word freedom, freedom isn't free.
That's right.
If it wasn't for a young man or woman that served this country in the American Revolution, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Bosnia, Somalia, Iraqi freedom. If it wasn't for those young men and women, those brave men and women in Pearl Harbor, who's to say that if the Japanese would have been successful, that we wouldn't be speaking Japanese today? I would have came in today and I said, Konnichiwa. Who's to say if Hitler was successful in World War II, he would have eliminated, I wouldn't be here. My family's from Puerto Rico. And probably, I'm going to say, majority of the people in this room wouldn't be here. Because he wanted the perfect race. And we know that that was not a good decision. But because of a young man or woman who gave their life, we are reaping the benefits that they have sown into this country. That's why I say this. We live in the best country in the world. Hurrah. Hurrah.